Hi everyone, I want to talk today a little bit about the gut-brain connection. So I've been speaking with you lately about the gut and the many impacts that we can have through nutrition. But did you know how powerful the gut-brain connection is? So this month through my inner circle, I've started a gut reset program. And when we dive a little bit deeper, we have to look at food, but also the stress response in our body. And I want to tell you about a program that is being used called Nerva. So Nerva is a self-guided hypnotherapy program. So this program was developed in consultation with Monash University, which is in New Zealand. So Monash University is well known in the world of IBS, or irritable bowel syndrome, because they've developed a program called the low FODMAP diet. So what is low FODMAP? Some of you might have heard about it if you've been told by your doctor or specialist that it can help you with your gut. So certain foods have higher amounts of sugar in them, and those sugars, even from healthy foods like apples and onions, can actually cause a response in the gut that can cause it to bloat. So for many people, they've gone on a dietary change, this low FODMAP diet, which can be quite restrictive, but it can help with IBS type symptoms. So we know though that a lot of things that happen with the gut are related to the stress response. So IBS now is known as visceral hypersensitivity syndrome. So what does this mean? It means that those individuals with IBS have a heightened response to pain and to the bloating because of the response of the way their pain receptors are working in the gut. So when the researchers looked at this, they thought, instead of maybe looking just at food, what if we began to look at the brain and trying to reprogram the brain to help to reset the gut? I've spoken many times before about the vagus nerve, and we know that the vagus nerve is the longest nerve running from our brain to the rest of our body. It sends signals downward, but it actually sends a lot of signals upward. But by working with the brain, we can actually teach the gut to overcome these problems. And so this is what the organization and the app Nerva does. So Nerva, like I said, it's self-guided hypnotherapy. And what they did in their research study is they actually put individuals either on the Nerva app or dietary changes associated with the low FODMAP diet. And if any of you have tried to do this before, you know it's quite restrictive. I've been on this before and it's quite restrictive. But when they compared the app, which is basically 15 minutes a day, it's like a meditation that you sit, you're listening to the phone, it's taking you through like a guided relaxation exercise. They actually got the same results. So without making dietary changes, you can begin to impact your bowel and IBS type symptoms. So why is this important? What I've seen through the years is that many times we get so focused on what we can't do that we get very stressed about it. So for example, I have so many patients, we're all trying to do the right things, right? We're trying to eat the healthy foods, the broccoli and everything else. But we know that if you're even eating organic broccoli and all the right meals, but you're still super stressed out, that you're not going to overcome your symptoms. And I've seen this again and again. When it comes to weight loss, I see people, they're eating by the book, they're tracking their macros. So they have an app and they download their carbs, their protein and their fat, and they're still not losing. And why is that? Because they still have such a strong stress response going on in the body. So in addition to helping with IBS type symptoms, they also found that the Nerva patients that followed the program were actually having lower levels of overall anxiety in their lives. So we need to begin thinking about this, right? So number one, yes, food is medicine. And I'm not talking about getting rid of junk food. If you're eating junk food, for sure, you're still going to go on to continue to have a lot of digestive issues. But for those that are eating whole foods, adding in a 15-minute, like a mindfulness guided meditation app a day for 6 weeks, 75% of people are going to get better. So is this something that you want to take on? So I'm going to have a link in my bio and in the description if you wanted to give Nerva a try. It's free for 7 days and then you can sign up and register like you would for any other app. But I want you to begin to think about it. What is your approach to food? What is your approach to your health in general? One of the things that I'm doing on my gut reset program for the month of January within the inner circle is we're really starting to, one of the tenets is to slow down when we eat. You know, many times we're just gobbling down food when we're on the run. But when we slow down to eat, when we appreciate our food, when we actually take time to chew it, when we sit and we eat mindfully, you know, our body actually is going to reward us back, because food is medicine. It can help, we can heal ourselves with food. And then when we get rid of that heightened stress response and so much of this anxiety that we have about eating this food or that food, I want us to think about a whole foods approach. So one of the challenges that I have in the Gut Reset this month, is to have every meal that you have is include 3 colors to your meal. So why is color important? Because food is medicine, and every different color of food has different types of nutrients that we need in our body. So if you've ever found that you've been craving, often cravings come from the fact that you're just not getting sufficient nutrients into your system. And so the body wants more and more because it didn't get maybe its B12 or its selenium or enough vitamin C. So by adding in color, we're going to provide the nutrients that you need to really help the gut, help the body, but also to help the gut and the gut microbiome. So we know now there's so much research into the gut microbiome in terms of, again, how it sends the signals up to our brain. So when we start to work on both connections, so putting healthy food in, so things that are low sugar, that are not ultra processed foods, cutting back on alcohol, you know, sugary drinks, too much caffeine. So we're doing that and adding in wholesome foods, colorful foods that have pre and probiotics built right into them because they come from nature. And then we began working on the stress response in our brain and the impact that that has on our gut. It can really help to reset the entire nervous system and to get us feeling better overall. So who does this apply to? So of course, if you have IBS, if you have Crohn's, if you have colitis, these disorders can be improved through nutrition. And I know that many of you might have heard, maybe physicians have said that, you know, it doesn't matter what you eat that's going to impact these conditions, but it definitely matters what you eat, okay? And there's a gastroenterologist in America, and her clinic is 75% focused on getting people off of anti-immune-based drugs for Crohn's and colitis, and she uses a lot of these principles within her clinic. So if you think that, you know, maybe I have Crohn's or colitis and I want to get off these drugs, then think about this, a whole foods approach, and maybe trying something like the Nerva app that can give you some help. And then for those that maybe just have undiagnosed chronic diarrhea or undiagnosed, if you're chronically constipated, there's something going on, right? So your stool is a vital sign. When you're going regularly, it's a sign that your body's healthy. So if it's not in balance, start beginning to think what could be going on. So think about the whole foods approach. Think about maybe trying an app, something like Nerva. Again, it's free to try for 7 days. And if you want even more help and information, then come on and join my inner circle. It's just $49 a month. We meet every Tuesday. So every Tuesday from 12 to 1 o'clock, you've got 1 hour. So you get some education from me, and then you can ask me any question you want. So free access to a very small amount of fee to access a functional medicine physician every Tuesday from 12 to 1. So I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm here in Miramichi. The sun is shining. I'm off on my way to Bermuda, and I'm hoping the sun is shining there as well. Take care, everyone. Have an amazing weekend. Bye for now.